The fluorescent lights buzzed in the crowded corridors of Westview High, a sprawling school tucked away in suburban Ohio. The air was heavy with teenage energy, cheap body spray, whispers, and the occasional locker slam. It was the first day of junior year, and students weaved through the chaos, finding their cliques. Among them walked Mia Caldwell, her shoulders hunched, eyes darting from face to unfamiliar face. Her dark braid swung behind her, her hands clutched tightly around her backpack straps as if it were a shield. Mia had become an expert at going unnoticed. 6 schools in 4 years had taught her to shrink into herself, avoid attention, and keep her past buried. But Westview High was nothing like the others. It was louder. Harsher. And before the day was over, everything she tried to hide would come clawing to the surface. In first period English, she took the back seat, hoping to disappear into the rows of desks. The teacher droned on, her voice a monotone lull, and Mia's thoughts drifted out the window toward the glinting sun on the football field. Then, a sharp pull snapped her back. Someone had yanked her braid, hard. Snickers rippled through the room. She turned to see Jake Harper, a broad-shouldered jock with a smug grin. He twirled a pencil between his fingers like a prize. "Nice braid, newbie," he smirked. Laughter echoed all around. The teacher didn't even glance up. Mia clenched her jaw, facing forward again. She'd dealt with boys like Jake before. Keep quiet. Stay small. They'll lose interest. But Jake wasn't done. Throughout class, he flicked wads of paper at her, each one landing like a jab to her nerves. His friends joined in, muttering insults just loud enough to pierce her calm. Her grip tightened on her pen, her nails digging into her palm. She could feel the familiar heat rising in her chest. By lunchtime, the bullying had escalated. Rumors swirled. Jake and his crew had picked their target, and Mia sat alone in the cafeteria, pushing around a soggy sandwich. The room buzzed with chatter and clattering trays, but she felt like she was underwater. Then it happened again. Jake swaggered over, his posse trailing behind him. With one hard yank, he pulled her braid backward, jerking her head. Her tray hit the floor with a crash, food splattering. The cafeteria fell silent. "What's wrong?" Jake mocked. "Gonna cry?" His friends recorded it all, laughter cutting through the silence. Something inside Mia broke. It wasn't just the pain. It was years of torment, years of pretending she was normal. Her hand shot out and clamped around Jake's wrist. One twist. A sickening snap. Jake's scream echoed as he collapsed, clutching his now disfigured arm. The cafeteria erupted. Phones dropped. Teachers sprinted over. But Mia just stood there, breathing heavily, her hands still trembling. She hadn't meant to go that far. But it was too late. In the principal's office, stern voices surrounded her. "You assaulted another student," said Principal Carter. Mia stared at the floor, her voice barely above a whisper. "He pulled my hair. I just reacted." Jake's parents arrived, furious and loud. "She's dangerous," his mother shouted. "She should be expelled." Mia's foster mother, Karen, sat silently beside her, concern etched into her face. She didn't know Mia's truth, no one did. Mia was suspended for a week. Jake's arm was in a cast. And the gossip spread like wildfire. Psycho. Super strength. Secret martial artist. Theories ranged from juvie escapee to military experiment. But the stares hurt more than the rumors, fearful, wide-eyed glances followed her everywhere. Jake wasn't done either. He returned, eyes burning with vengeance. His crew kept up the harassment, knocking over her books, tripping her in the halls, vandalizing her locker with cruel words. Mia tried to keep control, but every incident chipped away at her restraint. She remembered other moments she'd tried to forget, a shattered desk at her last school, a broken locker door. And the memories, fragments of a facility, needles, men in white coats. Mia had been adopted at 5. But her past never truly left. One afternoon, walking through the woods near school, she heard the crunch of footsteps. Jake and 3 others emerged from the trees. "Thought you could break my arm and walk away?" Jake hissed, stepping closer. "Please," Mia said, her voice shaking. "Don't do this." Jake didn't stop. He grabbed a thick stick and swung. Mia dodged instinctively and countered. She twisted his arm behind his back, forcing him to the ground. His friends lunged, but Mia fought like lightning, fluid, fast, fierce. One hit a tree, another crumpled after an elbow strike, and the last ran. Jake whimpered on the ground. "Stop, please." Mia let go, falling to her knees, breath ragged. She hadn't wanted to fight. But she couldn't hide who, or what, she was anymore. The next day, a new student arrived. Ethan Blake, a senior with cold blue eyes and a quiet presence, transferred from across the state. He noticed Mia immediately. At lunch, he sat across from her. "Heard you took down Jake Harper," he said casually. "I didn't mean to," she replied. "I know what you are," he whispered. Mia froze. "What?" "You're like me. Strong. Different." He slid a folded note across the table. "Meet me at the old warehouse after school. We need to talk." The warehouse was abandoned and eerie. When Mia arrived, Ethan explained everything. He'd been part of a secret program, one that created enhanced kids. Most didn't survive. But some, like him and Mia, had escaped. And the people who ran the program were still hunting them. Jake's father wasn't just some angry parent. He was a scientist in the very program that created them. Over the following weeks, Ethan trained Mia. He taught her control, focus, precision. They met in secret, learning to harness their strength. For the first time, Mia didn't feel alone. But danger was closing in. Jake cornered her one day, his words venomous. "My dad knows. He's coming for you." At the homecoming game, the final confrontation began. Jake and his friends, drunk and reckless, surrounded her under the bleachers. Jake pulled a knife. The crowd was oblivious, cheering on the game above. Mia disarmed him in a heartbeat. She moved like a shadow, dodging, striking, pinning Jake again. But just as things settled, a black van tore into the parking lot. Men in suits jumped out, guns drawn. Ethan appeared. "Run!" They sprinted into the woods, dodging gunfire until they reached a hidden underground bunker Ethan had prepared. Inside, he showed her the truth. Jake's father had orchestrated everything, using Jake to provoke Mia, testing her limits. They hacked into his files and uncovered horrifying evidence, children locked away, tested, broken. With one upload, they exposed the entire operation to the world. News outlets erupted. Arrests were made. The program crumbled. Mia and Ethan vanished before authorities could find them. They moved to a new city, changed names, and started fresh. Mia dyed her hair. They lived in the shadows, watching the world from a distance. Back in Ohio, Jake was shunned. His family name stained by scandal. At Westview, whispers of the new girl, the one who fought back, never died.